Hello, yes, so thank you for welcome to my channel. My name is Tanisha, by the way. I talk about all things TV, movies, and also books. So today I'm talking about one of my favorite books, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now, this is a book I actually have already read, but her new book, The Onyx Storm, which comes in this Imperial series, comes out in January. So what I'm doing to prepare for that is I'm going back rereading the first two books in this series, that's Fourth Wing and also Iron Flame. So I'm going to be reading a certain number of chapters per week until we count down to Onyx Storm. Okay, so Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I first found this book on TikTok. I have heard great things about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not really a fantasy reader, but the way someone described it, like it's basically a starter guide for romance readers. If you're a romance reader, you're gonna love Fourth Wing, because a thing with fantasy reading, fantasy genre, it's a lot of world building. It's a lot of just uh, really, it's a lot of world building. You're learning about different rules, different laws, different religions, and a whole other just made up place. And oftentimes you can get kind of lost in that, and it kind of like gets there are slow parts where you have to talk about that. But in order to fully understand the plot, you got to get that out of the way too. But the way Rebecca Yarros writes, it fits into the plot so seamlessly that you don't even realize that you're talking world building. Like for me, I could not get into the Lord of the Rings saga because it was just the reports that were super fast and fast, but majority of it is just super slow. I just couldn't do it. I might do another book read on that one as well too. Who knows? Comment below if you want me to read Lord of the Rings again. But back to Fourth Wing. So we start off with our protagonist, Violet Sorrengail. Basically, she's a 20th, she just turned 20, and so basically it's conscription day. Conscription day is basically where all of the young adults get put into different, what they call quadrants of this Baskarth War College. There are four quadrants. The first one is the scribe quadrant. This is the one that Violet's been training for her whole life. It's basically the people who keep all the news, the books, newspapers, the writers, the authors all into this one section. They keep the news on what's going on in the world, and they document it, and they keep it all bolted behind what they call the archives. So she's been training her whole life to be this. And her dad also was a scribe as well too. And also what makes Violet so interesting is that she was born with a disability that her bones break a lot easier. So she always thought the scribe would be her safest best for her. And then the second quadrant is the healer quadrant. This is the place where all the people who are the healers, doctors, nurses, all that, that's in that quadrant. Healthcare professionals. So people who are injured in battle, that's what they're for. And the third is the infantry. Basically, if you don't fit into any of the other quadrants, this is where you go. If you fail the entrance exam to the others, yeah, you're going to the infantry, which for some might even say this is the worst kind because oftentimes the fourth quadrant, which I'll get into in a minute, they use the infantry as like cannon fodder basically. They're the foot soldiers, they're the ones sword in hand, and they fight. So it's definitely a deadly world. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of warring going on as well too. Taking it back. So we have two kingdoms here. We have Boromir and then we have Navarre. And Navarre is where Violet's from, and they've been at war with each other for like thousands of years. So obviously they have to have this war college because they need new conscript because people die very quickly. Which brings us to our fourth quadrant, which makes Navarre more powerful than Boromir because Navarre has dragons. Yes, the Riders Quadrant is for the Dragon Riders. It's by far the most deadliest because to become a rider, I mean, it's one thing you have to go through all the obstacles. You have to fight each other in what they call the sparring ring, so that way you can defend, at least can prove that you can defend yourself. But then you have to come face to face with the fire-breathing dragon and basically be willing enough to face them. And if they deem you worthy, you become a rider. If not, you are incinerated. So it's hardcore world, I gotta tell you. So Violet has been training her whole life to be a scribe, but her mother, General Elizabeth Sorrengail, who is a dragon rider, has decided, no, you're becoming a rider. That's the end of this conversation. Further on, we'll find out why that is, but for now, just know that Violet's being forced in the writer's quadrant because her mom said so. So you can definitely tell there's a lot of tension between mother and daughter. And also the way that Violet talks about it, she feels like her mom doesn't really like her because she's considered weak. And in a war college where dragons, weak is the last thing that you want to be described as. She's not as tall as anyone else. She's like average height. I would say like 5'5" ish. So, and then her sister is a little bit taller, more like built like her mom. And then her brother, Brandon, who died during the Navarian Civil War, he's a war hero. Basically, that was, in her Violet's eyes, that was her favorite, mom's favorite. But so going back to the Navarian Civil War, basically, prior to this really whole civil war that started out with the province of Tirandor. There are six provinces in the kingdom of Navarre. One of the larger ones is Tirandor. They separate themselves from the kingdom for a reason that we find out later on. And so they basically had they succeeded in separating themselves from the kingdom, it would have left their borders very, very vulnerable to attack because they have what they call these magical wards that surround the entire kingdom. And so, had they fallen, they would have been fallen to prey to form your attacks from their griffin riders. And basically, griffin riders like half eagle, half bird, very large, not long, not strong as a dragon, but pretty formidable creatures. And so these two kingdoms again raging war, and so it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of great stuff that goes on in here. I stopped at the part where Violent Sorengale is getting ready to cross what they call the parapet, and basically it is a kind of everything that the writers do during their kind of 3 years that they're in the writer squadron is it's all you're testing your abilities to not only ride but to fight with a dragon. So basically, it's like a balance beam that sets as high as Mount Kilimanjaro, if you will. Maybe not that high, but it's pretty high up in the sky. So basically, you have to balance yourself as you're walking across this beam. And if you fall, you're basically falling to your death. So does she make it? Does she not? Stay tuned. I promise I will definitely keep you updated as I go along with my reading journey as well too. I might even do a live as well here too, so like a live sprint reading. So I'll do like a little bit of reading, read with me, then we'll chit chat about the books we're reading. So, what books are you currently reading this fall? Also, happy fall, everyone! And what books are you looking what books are you reading? What books do you think I should read and review? Let me know in the comments below. This is a very quick little review. Just wanted to hop on here real quick. And as always, I thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. That way, stay updated when new videos are uploaded. See you all. Bye.